Every now and again, something really, really special comes along. It's been a good couple of years now since we first learned that Oxygen David was working on something new for Farming Simulator 25, and throughout that time we've seen a few images and posts giving us updates on how progress was coming along, keeping all of us players eager and excited for the day when it would be released. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that day has come, and I really am, truly lost for words. Oxygen David has produced yet another absolute masterpiece. I'm FARMERSIM, and this is Witcombe Park Farm. The wait is over, ladies and gentlemen. Witcombe Park Farm is here, and what an incredible map this is. Oxy has really outdone himself with this one. It's an absolute masterpiece. I kind of feel like this has probably been one of the most heavily anticipated maps so far for Farming Simulator 25. I'm just, as you can probably tell, I'm a little bit lost for words. There's so much to take in. It's no wonder this has taken so long for him to make. I mean, it's just staggering. It really is. But yeah, Witcombe Park Farm, it is here. Now, the release plan for this one, I believe, if any of you aren't aware, the idea is that, obviously, as he released it for PC, as we speak, it came out on Saturday. For me, at the time of this recording, that was yesterday. And the plan is that it's being released for PC, and for PC players over the next coming weeks and months to report any bugs or issues with the map, and Oxy can get those ironed out, and in the fullness of time it will be submitted to Giant Software for full release to consoles as well. So yeah, we've got that to look forward to. All console players, this will be coming to your consoles at some point in the near future. But yeah, what an incredible map this is. He's captured the the Britishness, the essence of a British countryside perfectly, in my personal opinion. It just feels so like home. It's just mega, it really is. And it's that initial detail of a map feeling like it, of the place that it's meant to be, that makes me want to play a map, and I want to get my teeth into this so much. I mean, check that out, custom traffic. We'll go through that in a little bit more, because there's more than just that motorcycle. But yeah, so a little bit of info about the map from Oxygen David's itch.io page initially. Inspired by the countryside of Gloucestershire, UK, a carefully crafted blend of real-world geography and fictional design, creating a distinctive and authentic UK farming landscape. There are more than 60 fields, ranging from small paddocks to large arable expanses. There are over 100 purchasable farmlands, including extensive forestry plots and hidden woodland corners. We have new animals. There are rabbits. We have new British livestock breeds, each with their own stats. We have Gloucestershire Old Spot pigs. We have Hereford cattle and Jersey cattle. Suffolk blue-faced Leicester and Texel sheep. The map has a fully reworked environment XML featuring new weather patterns, lighting profiles, cloud systems, and a refreshed daytime skybox. Completely redesigned UK-style ground textures and foliage, giving the map a fresh, grounded visual identity. There is a drivable Class 40 train on the map. It's a gorgeous thing, this. Step into the cab of a fully drivable British Rail Class 40 and experience true UK diesel-electric power in action. There are high-detail forest assets for a more realistic woodland experience. There are custom ambient sounds tailored to the map's environment. These are brilliant. A new UK-style traffic, including motorcycles, tractors, and articulated lorries. There are 4 fully developed main farms, each with their own character. We will go into these in a little bit more detail very shortly. And there are also 4 small holdings offering varied and immersive starting points. The sellable farms feature full customization, removable piles of junk, adjustable field borders, and more. The map has been designed to support every playstyle, from small-scale realism to large-scale contracting. There is also multi-terrain angle on the map as well. There has been a handful of new crops added. These come from Falzagrar multi-prefab pack. We have rye, we have triticale, spelt, grain maize, green rye, vetch rye, field grass, silage maize, hummus activator and mustard, and also alfalfa, linseed and poppies, which is pretty cool. We have 7 custom production chains integrated seamlessly into the map, 4 dedicated fruit sell points, 10 additional sell points for productions, materials and goods. There are more than 30 new UK-themed placeables, hundreds of high-detail UK assets populating the world, and numerous animated objects bringing the environment to life. So much to take in with this map, there really is. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the PDA, have a quick overview of the PDA from above in the menus, and then we're going to go and have a look at each of the 4 farms and the 4 starting small holdings. Right, here we are in the map PDA, and as you can see, a lovely, rich, colourful PDA to take a look at here. It's a beautifully laid out map, this one, it really is. You've got this lovely big water reservoir feature in the centre of the map here that's got a bit of a bridge, not a bridge, but yeah, it's kind of a bridge that runs right the way through it, so you can cross it with your vehicles. Field size-wise, I think the biggest on the map, we're coming up to field 38 here at the top at just over 16.5 acres. What we got here, field 27, 15.6, and you've got a bit of everything in between, so you can accept some pretty decent sized machinery, but it also caters very nicely for the nice small and medium size, you know, start from scratch kind of thing with a nice old small tractor and whatnot. So yeah, this can cater for just about everyone and every kind of play style. So plots of land, what I've done is at the minute I've purchased all of the, what I think to be all 4 of the main starter farms and the small holdings. So first and foremost, plot 68, which is the cluster down here. This is the main starter farm that you'll start out with on new farmer mode. This is where you'll find a built-in rabbit hutch, and this caters for both variants of cows, both dairy and beef stock. You do start off with a handful of starting equipment, but I'm not going to focus on those now, on the starting equipment, because I'm sure we all like to start with what we like to start with, so to speak, so I'm not going to focus on the vehicles that you start off with. So that's plot 68 there. Plot 69, if I can remember where that is, plot 69 here is pretty much slap bang in the centre next to the reservoir. Forgive me, plot 68 here comes in at £206,000, by the way. Plot 69 up here comes in at 124,000, and I believe this is centered on being an arable setup. You've got a few sheds, etc., a nice farm courtyard layout. We will have a look at each of the individual 4 starter farms in a little bit more detail very shortly. But yeah, this comes in at £124,000. Next up is plot 74, which is over here on the west side of the map. Now, this is a sheep farm. This has a built-in sheep pasture, sheep barn, and this is where you can exercise some of the featured new animals that we have on the map. I'm not too sure if the actual models of the animals when they're out in the barns are custom, but when you go into the menus, you can see the different custom sheep. So you've got the Suffolk, the blue-faced Leicester, easy for me to say, and Texel sheep. So you can take advantage of those here. Next up, we have plot 73, which I think is, presuming a bit, there we go, yeah, this is plot 73 again here. They all come with a farmhouse. You've got a farmhouse here and a fuel tank, etc., and a couple of barns. And again, because this doesn't have any animals on the farm, any animal barns, I think the idea of this one is to be mainly focused again on another option for arable farming. And then small holdings wise, we have plot 75, which I'm just trying to find on the map again here. I think, yeah, down here we are. So the nice small plot of land. This comes in at just over 30,000. So the small holdings just feature a couple of sheds, essentially, you know, a bit of a starting area, but no real big barns to speak of, and no animals or anything like that. Just a nice couple of workshops to start off with. So we got plot 75 here that comes in at just over £30,500. We have plot 71 that is just across the road, coming in at just over £19,000. And then the next one we have plot 72, which is up here. Again, it's just a settlement of a couple of barns, and this one comes in at £11,000. And plot 70, which is up here. There's my mouse cursor up here towards the north of the map here. Plot 70 comes in at just under £14,000. But like I say, we're going to go and have a look at those in a little bit more detail each. But as you can see from the very south of the map, this is where almost all of the sell points and production systems are located in the kind of industrial area where my character is currently stood. But we'll obviously get out into the important stuff here. But to go and check out the map in a bit more detail. But if you look to obviously you can't tell it from here in the PDA, but this north edge of the map, as you can see, we're kind of flanked and surrounded by huge purchasable forestry areas. So if you wanted to get your logging on, there's plenty of opportunity for that. But when you stand up here at the north of the map and look down into the valley of where the town is, it just looks absolutely incredible. It's not a flat map. It's not. Obviously, it's had so much time focused on the topography and the design of the lay of the land that it's so nice. From roughly where my cursor is here, going right up to the top here, it kind of progressively rises up and up and up. And when you're up here looking down into the town, it looks incredible. It really does. And you've got this beautiful big manor house here on plot 79 that comes in. Seems relatively affordable at 165 grand, but yeah, there's a gigantic ornate manor house that's got swimming pools and tennis courts and stuff. It looks incredible. Yeah, there's so much detail to take in on this map. It's just astonishing. So we'll go and have a look. First and foremost, we'll go and have a look at the farms and the small holding areas. So here we are, approaching the main starter farm on the map, but they're just looking in front of us there, just what I was going back to before, talking about the way that the topography of the map and the hills go right up to the north of the map. I'll just overlay a quick image looking the other way down the hill here, but just look at that. Properly amazing, that, isn't it? It just feels incredible. But yeah, this is what it looks like from down here on the farm. So this is us, the main starter farm. There is a sell point directly across the road from us here at the starter farm to make selling a few products a little bit easier. There's a couple of these around the map, kind of unique fruit farm sell points. You can go in and open the doors, and I think like the base game things on the map, these kind of populate with products as you sell them to the area, to the shop. But yeah, beautifully modelled. Feels very immersive and realistic. But yeah, that's your farmhouse in front of you. Now this, I think, of all the 4 main starter farms, this is the one that does have the interactable house, the fully. And I've left the door open, goodness me. But yeah, the house that's got the full interior and that you can go in and interact with your sleep triggers and stuff. And I'm sure those of you who are fans and familiar with Scroft's Farmhand series, you'll recognise this property. But yes, this is the main farmhouse, as it were. I think this is in the placeables menu. In fact, let me just actually confirm that before we crack on. We'll go into the construction menu, go to farmhouses. There are a handful of... Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it is. Just had to confirm that. But yeah, there we go. The full interior house. I think are these others? No, these others have just got the sleep triggers on the outside, haven't they? There we go. There's a couple of examples of these dotted around the map, but yeah, the triggers and wardrobe triggers and stuff are on the outside of these ones here. Yeah, this one's just the main one with the full interior. But yeah, so the farm here, populated with loads of storage, loads of sheds, plenty of space to get your career started on here. Loads of storage space, bit of kit in here, but like I say, I'm not focusing on the kit because that's something that we all like to do ourselves, isn't it, really? In my personal opinion, anyway. But here we have one of the cow barns. Now, in fact, forgive me, let me just bring up my heads-up display again. But yes, here I have on display some of the... I think these are the Jersey cattle, are they? Hereford cattle, sorry, forgive me. Yeah, these are the Hereford cattle that we've got in here. These ones are essentially beef stock. These don't produce milk, and it's the Jersey cattle who are in the barn next door that are the alternative to what we've had so far. The Holsteins in the game, they are the milk producers. But yeah, lovely old barn. Nice and authentic. Again, you'll recognise this. A lot of people, a lot of viewers who are familiar with Scroff's work on the farmhand here. Got a bit of a small, nice old rustic fuel tank. Again, plenty of shed storage space. Lots going on in here. Squeeze a bit going on in here as well. Bladdered again. Good. Brilliant. I missed that one. That's great, that is. Nice one. I like that. So, anyway, yeah. Wandering around here. And I don't want to go into too much detail, as I tend to not do on map tours. I don't want to go into too much detail, because if any of you haven't got the hold of this map yet, you need to discover it for yourself. You really do. It's just absolutely incredible. So what have we got over here? We've got a liquid fertilizer tank over here. That can take this, what can we put in here? 40,000 litres. So we can fill that up with liquid fert. So yeah, all built in. And then over here, these are our Jersey cows in this lovely big cow barn that does come with this wonderful milking parlour building here. And again, this is a placeable that you can place down from the construction menu. But if we just have a bit of a pop over the fence here and just have a look down here, I mean, how cool is this? Absolutely mega. I don't think I've seen anything like this so far in Farmer Simulator. This attention to detail. It's just wonderful, and it's one of the many, many things that makes this map stand out to what it is so far. Like I said before, so far one of the most heavily anticipated maps of Farming Simulator, I feel. So yeah, that's a very, very quick rundown of this farm. We've got a few silage bunkers over here. We know what they do. We've got a slurry tank over here to store your slurry, and there's more sheds dotted around the place. Plenty of storage. There's a I think it's this one down. How do I get to it? Round here. There is a what's termed a service shed, so you can service your machinery. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. With one of the tractors in here, so you can service your machinery on your farm, which is great. And there is, if I jump into the PDA very quickly, there is a trigger down here to remove the junk from the farm, if you so wish. It's actually right in front of me there. Tag place. Oh, there we go. So if I go to here... Or is it on the other side? Hang on. Of course it is. We do this in the construction menu, do we? So if I click on that, remove junk, it's free. As you can see very quickly, anything that we highlight there, I zoom out as much as possible. Yeah, it highlights pretty much all the junk that's lying around the farm. I like it though. Personally, I always like having stuff like this dotted around the farm. It gives life and character. I mean, it doesn't, you know, clean farms do exist, neat and tidy farms do exist, but personally I think stuff like this just adds life to a farm like this. You know, it feels like it's been here for ages with that kind of stuff, doesn't it? It really does. Right, so, like I say, a very, very brief introduction to the starter farm. I'm not going to go into loads and loads of detail because you need to discover all these things for yourself personally. There's your farm silo. Right, on to the second one. Right then, plot 69. So this is what I've termed in my head anyway, the first of the arable layout. So there's no animal barns on this setup here, just some lots of storage sheds. We're just next to the big reservoir area that's like a bit of a feature in the center of the map here. So some decent size storage, of course. Another very, very big shed there. We do have a bale sell point here, which is quite handy, I suppose, to have on the farm. But yeah, you've got yourself a big shed for storage. Bit of a layout going on. There's a lovely old courtyard for this old building. There's the wardrobe triggers and the wardrobe triggers on this side, nestled behind this lovely old stone wall, and the sleep trigger is on the other side of the farm, which is there. Can we open this gate? No, not that one. Door, sorry, that's not a gate, is it? Some of them you can, I think. Yeah, we can open that one, and you've got a bit of a shed in here for putting hand stuff, hand tools and whatnot, maybe. But yeah, lovely old farm setup here. But look at this, these old cobbles. That's incredible, it really is. There are a handful of full custom textures and plants and whatnot in the construction menu. If we go and have a very quick look at that while we're talking about it, painting. So yeah, you've got loads of custom textures that Oxy's worked on here. I think that one looks familiar, but yeah, cobblestones and whatnot. But these are all custom ones, which is cool. And then we go to the plants section. We do have the custom tall grass. We have small nettles, we've got mixed weeds, we've got meadow grass there and a small meadow there, all decorational painting in the menus there, which is really, really cool. So you can get your, if you do wanted to customize stuff, you've got the option to be able to customize and match everything to what's already here, which is nice, because that's one thing I've always found a bit funny sometimes, is when you've got a map that runs the standard textures, but you've got access to custom textures when you do your own kind of build work and customization. Sometimes it can be difficult to match what's already there because you've only got what's in the construction menu. So yeah, it's really thoughtful of Oxy to include all those in the construction menu. Got yourself a bit of a fuel tank here, which is cool. Let's just check if that's an available one in the construction menu, actually. Where are we going? We want to go to containers. Oh, there we go. Brilliant. Yeah, that's placeable as well, which is great. I like the look of that. I really do. 5,000 litres. Awesome stuff. Right, but that doesn't need much more of an explanation and an introduction. There we go. The second starter farm. That's cool in there, isn't it? Can we open that gate and have a look in here? So some of these placeable houses do have a few interactable doors and storage areas. We can open this upper one as well. That is awesome. But just look at the detail, the textures on the walls of the stone walls, and the timber work making up the roof of this place. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Right then, on to the next one. Right then, up here on the west side of the map now, this is plot 74 and is the sheep farm, and comes in at £213,000. So I've placed a few sheep in here. Now I have selected and gone in and put in the custom sheep breeds that we have on this map, the Suffolk, Blueface, Leicester and Texels. But as you can see, the actual models that we see roaming around in front of us are they're just what we're familiar with, I suppose. But when you go to the animal menu here, you just find the trigger. There we go. We can go down and we can see these are the Texels, the Suffolks, and the Blueface Leicester. So that's pretty cool. Maybe those custom models might come in the future. I don't know. I've got no idea how difficult it is to create custom models for animals and whatnot, animated things like that. So please don't hold me to that whatsoever. It could be an enormous amount of work to create that kind of thing. But either way, it's cool that they're there anyway. It's great. But yeah, this is the sheep farm. So you've got yourself a little bit of storage space here with some sheds. There is also, I think, there's a bale sell point here as well. Yeah, here we are. They do have names. Let's have a look in the PDA there. Woodland Hill Farm Bale. So this is Woodland Hill Farm. Yep. So it does have a name, forgive me. But yeah, nice, nicely laid out. Decent amount of storage. Got a little bit of a garage in here for popping something small. A car, a truck, tractor perhaps. A pickup truck, not a lorry. But yeah, nicely laid out farm, this one. If you wanted to get started with a bit of sheep. And you've got your farmhouse here with your wardrobe trigger out the back. If we just go through the gate here, I believe the sleep trigger is around the front here. Lovely old cottage there with a thatched roof. Amazing. This is such a special map. Like I said before, I cannot wait to get my teeth into this. Oh, there we go. Forgive me. Sorry, Oxy, if you are watching, mate. Woodland Hill Farm. There we go. So, again, another relatively brief introduction of this starter area. On to the next. Right then, approaching the fourth and final kind of major farm setup. This is Meadow Lane Farm, because I have just looked at the map PDA. We also have a bale sell point here called Meadow Lane Farm Bales. So this is the fourth and final one, and again, I think this is initially designed to be a bit of a starter farm for arable. You've got a lovely little yard here. Your wardrobe trigger there at the back of this farmhouse, and sleep trigger around the back side. You've got your fuel tank there. And plenty of storage space here on this farm as well. Some nice big sheds. Here and here. All of these are available in the construction menu, of course, these sheds. Custom to Witcombe Park Farm. But yeah, really nicely laid out this. Feels very authentic. Get a bit of small equipment in there, maybe stack some bales in there if you wanted to. Here's your bale sell point. But it's not just about the farms and how they're laid out. There's a liquid fertilizer tank there and a silage bunker. It's what's around them and just what makes them feel like they're meant to be here and that they've been here for ages. Just over the road here we have a bit of a, I suppose in the UK you couldn't call it a mobile home park because they're not mobile homes, but they probably started out as mobile homes or something, didn't they? But I don't know what you'd kind of call this. It's not a caravan park. It's not a mobile home park, but it's a holiday park, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, just the smaller design of houses. But I mean, it's just having this here. Because there are, even round here where I live, there's a couple of areas like that a few miles down the road. Just feels absolutely perfect. It really, really does. We've got a lovely big ornate house here as a next door neighbour. Which I haven't included as what I believe to be one of the four main starting, for the four small holding areas. But this is, you could do something with this, couldn't you, if you wanted to? You can get your creativity on, but yeah, this is a lovely little setup here. Very nice indeed. So much to see and so much to take in on this map. It's absolutely incredible. But again, just taking in the views here from where we are on the west side of the map, looking towards the north, you can see how the topography of the map goes up and up and up. All the trees, the forestry areas there, that's all purchasable land, so you can get a real logging empire going on if you wanted to. Properly incredible. Right, so let's have a look at the small holdings now. Right then, plot 75, the first of the small holding areas that Oxy's placed on the map, is just nestled nicely under the trees and behind this large housing estate area here. And this is something to behold, it really is. It doesn't really offer anything in respect of interactivity for the playability on the game, it's just there. There is a sell point nestled. You do have to travel in here to get to one of the sell points in there. But this is just something else. It really is. I know this is featured heavily in some of the screenshots that Oxy has posted over the years. But what a special area this is. Again, feels so unique and so perfect for a UK landscape. It really does. Really, really cool this. So anyway, the small holding areas, this is that's another one across the road there. We'll have a look at that shortly. But we'll go and have a look at plot 75 first. This one comes in at £30,000, if I remember correctly, going off my notes here. But it's just a nice little old rundown area here with a couple of areas for storage, some sheds to store a few bits of machinery. So you could be like a small contractor just starting out, perhaps. There's that writing on the door, bladdered again. Goodbye, goodbye every September 1990. I don't know. Properly cool though. But yeah, you could start out as a nice little small-time contractor on here with something small if you wanted to earn your money. There's that big unique locomotive there travelling through the map. But it feels bang on, this. It really does, don't you think? Bit of old junk caravan and old trailer here just to add life to the area. Then you can come round the back here. There's another little way of getting in here if you wanted to. Just details like that. So very special, this map. I know I've not been on my own, have I? Being so excited for the release of this one. But yeah, here we have one of the sell points here just around the back. Peak Point Depot, where you can sell a few products. Perfect. Next to this gorgeous old church. Look at that. But within this little area here is where some of the custom ambient sounds are that you can witness. There's a... You just about start to hear them now. You can hear a load of kids playing. And that's pretty cool. It really is. The details on these houses, the ladders there, a little bit of construction work going on, the renderings being repaired on that house. And check out the number plates. Those who know, know. But yeah, there's some... I think there's some references to folks that Oxy's put in here. FS25, GGS, VP73 Dog, FS22, nah. I think that's pretty clever. Nice. But yeah, I love these new editions of motorcycles. They're just decorational here in a few forms, but there's also a handful of these riding around the map as well that have a custom sound to them. Bakery sell point here. Custom building. Very, very nice. Can we go into this one? It looks like we can. Open door. Yeah, there we go. Oh, great. Look at that. That's the last thing I need. I'm on a diet. Let's get out of there. But yeah, this is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. It really is. Nice big old pub there on the other side of the road. Very, very special, this. Right, across the road now. This is plot 71 that comes in at £19,000. And quite simply, you've got a plot of land that has a decent-sized shed on it. You can open the gate there. So a bit of a space for storage. And much like the last one, it's just essentially a simple bit of land that's got a little bit of storage. And you can start off perhaps with a bit of a small contractor business going on here. Seems like the right thing to do. Nestled and situated next door to one of the production sites on the map. The sawmill there. So yeah. All custom, as you'd expect on an Octi map. But yeah. Needs not much more of an introduction than that. The second of the small holding areas. Right. There's that rumbling motorcycle riding around the map there. Nice custom sound. But we're going on to the third of the small holdings now. Now, this is nestled in a bit more of an upmarket area, perhaps, of the map. The houses are really quite neat and tidy. Seem a little bit posh. But yeah, it's a lovely area here. But this small holding... Now, I think this is what I've termed as the third of the small holding areas because it comes with a big shed. So you've got a few nice neighbours here. I love these signposts, public footpath. Very common in areas like this in the United Kingdom. There's your little post box. But yeah, this is us here, I think. So it comes with this workshop and this relatively nice house. Now, I don't believe this has any kind of a sleep trigger with it. No, there's nothing coming up as an icon on the map, even though we own the place. But you can place one of those down if need be. But yeah, you've got this lovely big shed here for a bit of machinery storage. So if you wanted to start out, again, as a bit of a contractor doing some work for local farmers, you can do. But it comes in at £11,000, this one, which seems pretty cheap. Let me just confirm that and remind myself of that. But yeah, £11,088. So yeah, relatively affordable, considering this house is very, very nice. And you'd expect to pay a lot more than £11,000 for that. But either way, I hope I'm not making a mistake with that one, of course, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I think this is what I've considered to be the third small holding area. So we'll go and have a quick look now at plot 70 and the fourth. Right, en route to plot 70, I've kind of figured we'd just have a quick, just a look at this gorgeous little, like, hamlet, I suppose, which again is so typical to an area of the United Kingdom like this. Beautiful old buildings. Got a bit of a Witcombe school there, which is cool. You've got this gorgeous old church building model there, as you'd expect to find in an area like this. And as we follow around the lane here, this area, this selection of buildings that we're seeing here is what I've considered to be the fourth of the small holdings on the map. But it just feels so perfect, this does. It really, really does. And just back the way there, we'll go and have a look at it shortly, but the big manor house there, that's just behind those trees. But this is us here. This plot of land, plot 70, comes in at £14,000 and consists of this area here with a few, essentially just like kind of rundown sheds, barns. Nice old rusty gate there. Old broken concrete flooring here. But yeah, you've got a bit of a storage in here again for a bit of machinery. I love the vines crawling up the walls here. Nice bits of detail that I don't recall really seeing very much of in Farming Simulator. But you got this lovely, old, unused, kind of left to its own devices, old rusty shed here, which I just think has so much character. It really does. Very, very nice. But then you do have access to a field here that you can purchase if you like. Currently got peas in it, but yeah, you could make a career start on this one for sure. Bit of space here in the yard for storing a bit of machinery. But this feels like a really nice place to start this one, it really does. But yeah, coming in at £14,000. There's one of your neighbours up there again. Gorgeous old house. Doesn't it just feel perfect, don't you think? Really, really nice, this. There's the old manor. So yeah, let's go and have a look at that now, shall we? Right then. If only land really did cost this much. You can buy this plot of land for £165,000. Good lord. Myself and Mrs. FARMERSIM are in the middle of trying to find ourselves a house, and if we could buy something like this for 165 grand, oh my word. That would be amazing. But either way, what a lovely thing to have on a map, don't you think? Perfect for roleplay. Lord of the Manor and all that. What a thing. What a thing. But yeah, coming into the gardens of this lovely manor, you've got this gorgeous tennis court. But of course, why wouldn't there be a tennis court in the grounds of the manor? But yeah, very, very nice. And then within this little walled area here, we've got this lovely little swimming pool. Of course, for a bit of a bathe. What, and all that. But it's beautiful, it really is. Some lovely maintained gardens here. Little bridge going over a little pond that you've got. Just so very special. It really is. Now there's also this area on the map, plot 68, which is just, there's the manor that we've just been to there. It's just around the corner from the old grain mill there. I suppose I'm pretty sure that's an updated and remastered model from Court Farms on Farming Simulator 22. That's one of the production sites. That's the grain mill, of course. Beautiful old thing that adds so much character to this landscape. It really does. But yeah, I was just, one of the reasons why I was questioning whether I was correct on picking out the 4 starting small holding areas. This is a bit of a, I mean, as you can see, you've got your horse area here with your jumps. It doesn't, when I've bought the land, there is a bale sell point here. There's a couple of very, very small areas where you could store some equipment here, perhaps. And there is a water trough in this pasture that's out the back, but there's no animal pasture, as it were, in here. You could, I mean, this lends itself very well to fenceless pastures, doesn't it? If you wanted to place a bit of a horse pasture in here, this would seem idyllic and perfect for that, and get yourself a bit of an equestrian centre going on if you wanted to. So forgive me, I'm not too sure if this was originally designed and considered to be one of the 4 small holding areas on the map, but either way, it's another option for a perfect starter point if you wanted to get into a bit of equestrian money making, horse training, etc. You could certainly do that here if you wanted to. Nestled beautifully in this little small bit of village here, but it just feels perfect, doesn't it? It really does. We can just take a look at things from above here and just take it all in. So much detail, so much time. When you see a map like this, you can understand, or you should understand and appreciate why it takes so long for these incredibly gifted map makers to make these maps. I mean, look at that. We've got a bit of a cricket square going on here with a bit of a cricket pavilion. That kind of detail, to me, is so very special. You can't play cricket in Farming Simulator, can we? I know a few maps have included a football pitch with a ball that you can pick up and kick into the goal, but I've never seen a cricket square so far in Farming Simulator. But it's bang on, isn't it? It really is. So much to take in. So much detail. The map came out yesterday, like I said before. I'm recording this the day after the map was released. I am hoping to try and get this map released this evening. But I spent the whole afternoon just doing this. Jumping into flight mode and just slowly flying around, just looking at everything, and essentially, in a way, with my jaw on the floor, just going, oh my word, that's amazing, that's incredible, never seen that before. And it, like I said before, it just makes you really appreciate why it takes such a long time to make these masterpieces of maps. But they're worth every minute of the wait. They really are. I think, if I remember correctly, that we first heard a whimmer of Oxy focusing and starting to consider something new for Farming Simulator 25, and I feel that that was towards the end of the life cycle of FarmSim 22, if I'm remembering correctly. But ever since then, it's been, you know, just excitement. Regardless of what map you go on, though, the traffic is... They're always impatient trying to overtake each other, aren't they? But just look at this. Loads of little houses nestled away here. Now, this is the area where there is a brunt of the production systems and sell points on the map. This lovely big industrial area here, which is laid out perfectly. You've got this perfectly modelled shell garage to pick up your fuel. You've got your animal dealer here with animated animals in the pens, which is wonderful. Now, that's on the other side of the map there. That's the map boundary. But yeah, just having that kind of a thing on the map boundary is perfect, quite frankly. You've got this Toby Carvery, which is a sell point there. As you come down here, you've got the river that turns into a bit of a canal that goes down the map, which does have one of the new animation features on the map is these lovely old canal barges floating around. It's just so very special. Witcombe Mill there. If we jump into the PDA very quickly, we'll have a quick look at the what production systems do come on the map. So where we are now, if I click on that one there, there's a potato processing plant. That'll be Witcombe Mill, the big building that we've got on our left. We have a pure pasture dairies, prime oil processing, carpenters there, so many sell points, garden centres, Oakbridge Mill. Oakbridge Mill, there we go. Bit of a nod to Oakbridge Farm. Debris crusher for your stones, core shift logistics there, steel span freight terminal, farm tech transfer hub, train depot there. There's your gas station. And the Toby Carvery there. And then going a bit further north, we had a look at this one very briefly before, Peak Point or Pinpoint Depot there. We've got a production system there. That's the bakery. We walked past that. And we've got a small greenhouse. Forgive me, that was something I hadn't showcased there very briefly on the main starter farm. There's your small glass greenhouse and your rabbit hutch there. And then out towards the middle of the map, we saw that briefly, the sawmill. Then across the lane there, that's the bakery again, isn't it? If we zoom out a bit further, try and get rid of that bit there. Go away. There we go. And there towards the centre of the map, that I believe is the grain mill. Yep. Lovely stuff. But if we have a look at the productions in the menu here, there's your bakery. I suppose not the ingredients of these don't need much of an introduction, do they? You've got your grain mill to make all your flour from your different products there. Potato processing plant. This is a bit unique. You can make hash browns, potato chips from potatoes and olive oil, or potatoes and sunflower oil, and potato wedges. You've got your prime oil processing. You've got your canola oil, because you've got linseed on this map, which is nice. And we've got, of course, poppies as well. So you can make canola oil, linseed oil, olive oil, poppy seed oil, rice oil from long grain rice or normal rice, and sunflower oil. Your pure pasture dairies, producing all the products that we usually get from a dairy in Farming Simulator. And you've got your sawmill there as well. So yeah, really, really nice. Plenty to do, plenty to get your teeth into. And just below us here, I was going to say, is the dealership, but here's a prime example of these impatient people driving around the maps. They're always trying to overtake each other into oncoming traffic. And that's what you get for that. But yeah, this custom Peacock and Binnington dealership here. Beautiful model building, some nice high-res models there, sitting in the lot to be sold. But yeah, so much detail. Such an incredible map. But that is what I believe to be a relatively brief introduction and showcase of Witcombe Park Farm from Oxygen David. Released yesterday for PCs only initially, but will be coming to console in due course. Now, as I always say this because it's always something that plays in my mind, but whenever I do a map tour, I don't like to go into the full detail of absolutely everything that the map features. A, because the video would be staggeringly long, and B, because especially on a map like this, you need to discover it for yourselves. You really do. The detail, the time, the effort, the work, the custom modelling and asset creation that Oxygen David has done for this map is breathtaking, and it is something to behold. It really is. Excuse me, throat's going. So you need to discover this for yourself. The link will be in the video description, of course, below. Now, something I did forget to mention at the beginning of this video, there is also a high-definition texture pack available to download for a very small price if you wanted to turn this map up to 11. I think it's £2 to purchase from itch.io. The link will be in the video description below to where you can download the map, and you will also see the option if you wanted to purchase the high definition texture pack. Now, this purchase of the high definition texture pack is an incredible, wonderful and very simple way of supporting Oxygen David. It's a good way of supporting other modders that do offer that kind of a thing. But in this case, it's a great way of supporting Oxy. So if you wanted to take this map and turn it up to 11, which if you can, I really feel you should, because it just does that. You get all the textures and the crisp detail in proper 4K. I think that's the resolution it's in anyway, but it's just brilliant. It turns it up to 11. So yeah, the link will be in the video description below for that, for the itch.io page. Like I said, if you can, you really should. But yeah, I don't want to showcase every bit of detail and every nook and cranny of the map, because it's for you guys to discover the magic of this one. This has got so much going for it. The immersion, like I've said a handful of times already, I want to get my teeth into this map so much. But I need to do it. I need to take my time with it. I've got a few ideas in my head for something I'd like to do on here. So no doubt in the very near future, hopefully, I may well be starting something special on here. But I'm going to do a bit of planning first. But that's not the point of this map. This video. The video is to showcase this place to you and say, if you haven't already, go and download it, or if you're PC players, because it is so very special. I do want to give a massive shout out and a huge thank you to Oxygen David for the time that you've spent creating this masterpiece of a map. Like I said before, I think this has to, from where I'm sitting, it feels like it is one of the most highly anticipated maps to be released for farming simulators so far. It's an absolute work of art. But just look at that, the way that the ground flows up to the hills there, to the forestry areas. It feels absolutely perfect. It really does. But for this map tour, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope it's whetted your appetite to go and download it if you haven't already. So, if you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed the video and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please hit that like button too, as it does do wonders. It helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you like the idea of supporting the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code if you're looking to purchase Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There is coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support there, ladies and gentlemen, would be massively appreciated. So, thanks again for your time, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.